crime wave in Gotham. Other breaking news. Water. Wet.
Coming up, more problems for a troubled
Earthquake.
skater. Yep,
We're having an earthquake.
Breaking into homes and tickling people.
Fans quickly trashed his pantsless look on social media.
Also, in other news,
The whistles go woo!
He was murdered and then set on fire while celebrating his birthday.
He's on the lean and the model.
I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire.
he thought the car was a spaceship and that the driver was an alien.
He lost his life savings, $2,600, and all he has to show for it is this stuffed banana with dreadlocks.
It's time for another news right here on the Bernstein and Goff Show. We usually do it at 4 o'clock, but we've got Ask Us Anything, Friday Fun at 4 o'clock, so we moved it up an hour. You're listening to the Bernstein and Goff Show, as I mentioned, right here on 670 The Score, 670thescore.com, and watch 670thescore.com. The live video stream is brought to you by American Needle. American Needle is a true Chicago original. Buy local from American Needle. I am in there on the Facebook live chat making fun of people while they talk about the show. There's one man who looks like a thumb with a nice haircut. Hey, Bill Snyder, how you doing? It's not the Bill Snyder, by the way, not Kansas State head coach Bill Snyder. But this is in other news. Dan, what do you got for us?
A couple tried to recreate the famous lift from Dirty Dancing for their wedding and landed themselves in the emergency room.
Yeah. Got to be careful.
You know, you're talking about professional dancers, and you're talking about Patrick.
Already a dangerous move with two really in-shape people.
And Patrick Swayze, who's a big, strong man at the time, and Jennifer Grey, who wasn't exactly a difficult lift at that point.
Difficult lift.
I'm looking at these people, and oh boy, bride-to-be Sharon
need a bigger boat?
Price and fiancé Andy Price. You're going to need them all. Were left unconscious when a practice attempt at the iconic scene flopped spectacularly. The pair has watched the 80s cult classic more than 30 times and wanted to do the lift on their big day. And after playing around in a pub beer garden, they thought it would be a laugh if they had a go. Just like Jennifer Grey leaping into the arms of Patrick Swayze, 52-year-old Sharon
disintegrated into dust as soon as she hit the apex.
At 51-year-old Andy.
It's
Andy, and was ready for him to hoist her above his head. But Sharon winded herself and was left struggling for breath, and Andy hit his head so hard he was knocked out. The pair of them were left flat out on the grass, and relatives with them took photos as they thought they were playing around. But then they realized the situation was serious and called an ambulance to the scene in the small town 140 miles west of London, and the two were rushed to the hospital. Paramedics loaded Andy onto an ambulance. After cutting off his T-shirt, they switched on their emergency lights as they rushed him to the hospital.
This is bad.
So the paramedics were pretty worried about Andy, and they blue lighted him up to South Mead. They said, we are okay now, but he has a bruised back and a bruised neck, and Sharon has a back injury. Sharon said, all I could hear was the paramedics saying he was going in and out of consciousness. Our feet were still entwined, and they had to separate us. We're both badly bruised, but we're all right now.
Yeah, man, those choreographed dance numbers usually stay on the ground when you go to weddings. Like it was in vogue for a lot of people to do the Beyonce single ladies dance and all that other stuff. But when you're talking about Dirty Dancing and jumping at the age of 51 and 52,
well, it's funny.
God bless you.
As a side note, when you're talking about is 52 old, I saw this.
No, but you gotta be careful.
This was on Twitter the other day. Do you realize that Marissa Tomei in Spider-Man, the latest
Homecoming,
Spider-Man Homecoming,
still look good
at 52, is a year older than Rue McClanahan was when the Golden Girls began?
Are you serious?
I want you to think about that now.
Wow.
That still hot Marissa Tomei is a year older than Rue McClanahan was when the Golden Girls debuted.
My, how moisturizing products have changed. All right, man. Your peoples. Your guy. J.J. Watt.
Wait, I got to own J.J. Watt?
Yes, because he tweeted yesterday at around 5 o'clock, and we were doing our whole Jose Quintana Cubs Sox trade thing yesterday, but he tweeted around 5 o'clock yesterday a picture of a pair of shoes on a football field, and they're his new shoes. The caption of the tweet.
Welcome to Big Baller Zone.
Well, Dan, The caption.
Welcome to Big Baller Zone.
The caption of the tweet: $400 less than some shoes on the market and 100% more effective. Available tonight at midnight for $99.
Well, Lonzo
was a hater.
Lonzo was in Adidas.
Yes. And
something's going on.
Well, no. Well, LeVar has said numerous times that he's not going to force his sons to wear Big Baller brand. He's going to wear it all the time. He's going to allow his kids to wear whatever they want to wear until they realize that they should be like Pops and wear their own shoes, whatever.
It's like a Rumspringa.
Yeah, and he got a triple-double in the Hardness the other night. Yeah, Mr. Good one. But is there anyone lamer? Like the
J.J. Watt?
The greatness to lame ratio in all of professional sports. Does anyone have a higher ratio or a better ratio, a greater ratio of greatness to lame than J.J. Watt? Like, what are you doing? What if $400 less than some shoes on the market? Like, you're subtweeting Big Baller brand?
Yeah, how does that help you sell your shoe?
Right. First of all, no one buys football players' shoes. No one. Cross trainers don't really sell that much. Last ones that I remember being really hot were the Bo Jacksons back in the day. But
nobody bought Walter Payton kangaroos.
Yeah, nobody really rocked with those. But nobody's gonna buy your Reeboks, J.J. Watt. Stop it. Stop being a lame. Stop subtweeting. Stop being a troll. And just get back to being terrific at football. And then people are caping for him, too. Well, he does have a point. He's got 3 defensive MVPs. Yeah, it's not about if you should do it. I mean, it's not about can you do it. It's about if you should do it in this situation. Like, you're being a weirdo, and
How does that make your shoe more desirable by trying to take pot shots at LeVar Ball?
He's getting to the point where I might detest him soon.
This is in the category of what would you do?
Okay.
Corpus Christi, Texas. A Texas man who became trapped inside an ATM slipped notes to customers via the receipt slot, pleading for them to help him escape. The contractor became stuck on Wednesday. He was changing a lock to a Bank of America room that leads to the back of the ATM, according to Corpus Christi police. He couldn't let himself out of the room because he didn't have a key card on him, and he was unable to notify bank employees for help. Now, I don't know the size of this room, but he was stuck in the area behind the ATM. He left his cell phone and the swipe card he needed to get out of the room outside in his truck. And when he realized customers were retrieving cash from the machine, he passed notes to them through the receipt slot. One read, "Please help. I'm stuck in here and I don't have my phone. Please call my boss." And some customers appeared to dismiss the notes as a gag. But one called police, who detected a faint voice coming from inside the ATM. An officer kicked in the door to the room and freed the man, whose name has not been released. Says, "Everyone's okay. You'll never see this in your life, that somebody was stuck in the ATM. It was just crazy." Now, if you, out of the receipt slot, were handed a note like that, you probably think I'm in some sort of TV bit, right?
Well, if you're one of these people that gets a receipt. I'm a no receipt guy all the time. I can't see the last time I got a receipt from an ATM. You can check your balance on your phone, or even if you want to text the bank, you can check your balance these days. So, like, how many customers did he see come and go before some old lady wanted a receipt? I don't need receipts from the ATM. I know how much money I got in there. If I don't, I can just do the fingerprint scanner.
What if you heard someone yelling, "Help me"?
Like, what can I do? I actually got locked out on the balcony last night, and I'm banging on the balcony door, and it's like I'm looking like I'm trying to break into my own place.
That happened to my neighbors. We were pulling the car in, and we heard these voices. They're waving for us, and we had to call a locksmith for them.
Sucks, man. Yeah, I hope I never do it while Nicole is not at home, because Jace will have a very long night, because that door is absolutely when it's locked, there's no messing around.
When my daughter was 3, she locked me out, and I had to talk her through unlocking it when she was 3. Like, okay, put your hand like this, now turn it like this. So, and it took a while.
She's like diffusing a bomb.
Cut the green wire.
She's sweating. She's got the backwards hat on, the mustache, and everything.
Yeah, chewing on half a lollipop.
Right. All right, Dan, this story from Busted Coverage, Joe Kinsey on the story. As an Ohio man myself, I know Ohio, and I know Middletown. It's a dump, minus the whole Kyle Schwarber connection. where you could find things like Michael Morgan doing what he's accused of doing Tuesday night. I mean, this pretty much runs the gambit of what takes from an Ohio man to get on Florida man's level. The Dayton Daily News reports that he smelled of alcohol, and I'm shocked. From WLKY, authorities found Michael Morgan, who was, quote, showing signs of intoxication and was sweating profusely, according to a police report. The report adds that Morgan had feces all over his person. Witnesses told...
All over his person?
He had a person with him. Who's this? This is my person.
This is Chuck Person. He's looked better.
A feces-covered rifleman. Witnesses told police that Morgan took off his clothes, defecated on a chair, and attempted to sell candy to people.
For Ohio. I don't know.
All right. Neighbors also accused Morgan of masturbating in a home's backyard, according to the report.
Come on, man.
Morgan, who is known to police, was arrested and found with dozens of bags of candy, police said. Authorities said they believe that candies were stolen from a nearby convenience store. This is now the second wild Middletown story that's been sent to me over the last 20 days. The last Middletown story was of a drugged-up guy who fell on train tracks and somehow didn't get squashed by a train that ran over the top of him. He laid between the tracks and didn't die. The town is becoming a hotbed for Ohio man material.